Cats is leaving Broadway December 30th of this year, 2017, after about a year and a half of shows. And I'm sad about it, obviously. It's my favorite show. And I'm really fortunate to live on the East Coast now and be able to go and see it. I've only seen it twice since it's been there. And I say only simply because I know people who've seen it over 50 times. So, 2 times is actually not bad. One of those times my seat was like the best seat you can get. So I'm very fortunate. I'd love to see it again before it closes. I just don't know if that's going to happen or not. So Cats is closing, and I got the news that it was closing when I was at VidCon, which was this last weekend. Yes, there will be a VidCon vlog, but not till next week. I just need to get this video out of the way first. And that's why I sound a little raspy, because of interacting with people and talking for very many days straight. I'm so exhausted. But like full of happiness because of VidCon. I met so many amazing people. But it was Wednesday, and I had just gotten my badge, and I was hanging out with my sister-in-law, and I get a text. Actually, it's a lot of texts, just kind of continuous texts in this text chain with 3 other Cats fans whom I met at Broadway Con. This is us. We're awesome. The texts were vague, but along the lines of, "We need to talk. I can't talk right now. I can't talk about this. I'm really sad," and continuous. And I just kind of chimed in with, "What? Is Cats closing or something?" And I was right. Cats was announced. I think it was that day that it was announced through their Instagram, I think. I don't even know. But it was kind of like, oh, my heart. Oh no. It's not good feelings happening right now. And I'll be honest with you, the initial thing was sadness, but almost immediately after that was fear. And fear from other fans and non-fans. And I say this because I really love Cats, and I really love the revival. Not everybody who likes musicals really likes Cats. And not even all Cats fans really love the revival. So I kind of had this fear coming from both sides that people would just be, I don't know, cruel or smug or just, something that I didn't want to see. So I didn't really go online to look about any other Cats fans talking about it or musical theater fans. I just kind of said, okay, I'm sad. I just pushed down the feelings, pushed down the sadness, and said, all right, you know what, I'm going to go to VidCon, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm back from VidCon. So Cats is leaving. And, I'm not surprised that it's leaving so soon, because it wasn't present at all. At least it didn't get nominated for any Tonys. I don't like award shows. I don't like any of that stuff. I've never been that interested in all of those things. I watch those to see the performances. I don't know. I guess I don't really care who wins, who loses. I think now I'm sort of realizing that I should care a little bit, because the shows that lose or the shows that don't get nominated tend to leave. I don't know how Broadway works. I've only lived on the East Coast 2 years. I've come from a film background, so, you watch all these film and TV related award shows, and I don't really care much because it doesn't really mean that much to me, because the movies still exist and I can watch the movies whenever I want, even if they're a movie that nobody else seems to think is very good, but I love. So with shows, it's a little different, because they might just up and leave, and then you have to wait for a tour or something to see the shows you love. And that's to say if you can even afford to see the shows in the first place, because it's not like as cheap as seeing a movie at all, by any means. Which is one reason why I love the Cats DVD. I know a lot of fans don't like the Cats DVD either, but it's so amazing to me, because that was my sort of gateway into the fandom. And it's flawed, and it's silly, and it's just so beautiful. To feel outraged and upset that I can't go see my favorite show that's only a 4-hour drive away anymore feels a little selfish, because I didn't have that for most of my growing up and being involved and being into this show. And one person who I met at VidCon who is going to become a wonderful friend, I'm sure, very lovely person, when I said, oh yeah, my favorite musical is Cats, kind of like was taken aback and said, oh wow, I've never met anyone willing to admit that. I know they didn't mean it in a mean way, but it just kind of made me like sigh, because I get that a lot. It's like people think that, oh, aren't you embarrassed of your guilty pleasure fave? It's like, no, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed by the fact that I love this show so much. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than it means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons that maybe someone who hates the show can't really understand, or maybe overlooks, because it's, you know, it's like this thing that's weird and different and like bad. I don't know. I use quotes because I don't think it's bad, but I totally see why other people do. I love it because it appeared in my life at a time when I was having a difficult time making friends. Now, I will say my little group of friends in junior high and high school, we did meet originally through a mutual love of Sailor Moon and fan art. But that friendship started to grow around the musical Cats. It taught us to work together because we did our own production. It taught us creativity and a love of making things and learning about each other. And it's just like, I could go on and on about this, but one thing that people like to argue about is that Cats has no plot, which it's a very loose, interpretive kind of plot, so I get that argument, but I think that's one of the reasons why I love it so much and why it sort of became such an important part of my friendship with my friends in high school, because we created our own plot. We created our own backstory and continuation and characters, and we did fan art and comics, and we wrote stories. I have so much things from those periods of time that I cannot bear to part with. This is like not everything. This is not everything, but this is the majority of the stuff we created in notebooks and papers, and those in that yellow bag, that's our fan fiction. It was like a multiple book, just epic story of what happened before, like decades before the Jellicle Ball you see in the musical, and then decades after. And it's probably not very good, but it brought us so much joy. And we eventually got to all see it together when it came to California, and that was an amazing moment. And I've experienced nothing but like love for this show and the experiences it's brought me, that I don't know. I'm sad it's leaving Broadway, but it's not like the end of it at all. So I'm going to try to see it once more, and I'm going to have an amazing time. I'm going to be sad, but I'm going to get over it because the video's still there, and the people who love the show are still there, and I can talk to them anytime I want thanks to the internet. And yeah, people are going to be jerks about it. People are always going to be jerks about things. That's life. And what I have to say for anyone out there who is happy it's leaving, who is ecstatic, over the moon that it's finally getting out of Broadway, blah, 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 is, you know, just let people love what they love. Thanks for watching. If you're new, you should subscribe. And to all my fellow Jellicles out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this news. Doodle pip. Ow.